Get the guns, the drugs from my generation. I'll take the fall, the state, and across the nation. And it's a sin, the guns, the fake, the fraud, the messing with me. Come on, come on, come on, let's get it out.
It's a special edition of the Sports by Schmucks podcast, as it is WrestleMania season. Joining me again, as I am Brett, is Sean, and we have a special, I guess we'll say, wrestling correspondent. Does that sound good? That sounds great. And Tyler. Hello, Tyler.
Hello.
Hello. That's all. So, who here is actually really excited for it?
I'm very excited. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
A lot of unknowns going into this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's a good thing. So Sean, you suggested we're recording this on Wednesday evening, I guess. You want to do this right after Raw, but I was like, hey, who knows what could happen on SmackDown? And then I looked at the spoilers for SmackDown, and literally nothing happens.
So the usual?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's 2 matches, and then everything else is going to be live cut-ins to fan access or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's probably going to be and a bunch of video packages, so it's probably just be literally what Sunday Night Heat used to be.
Yeah, it's like typical SmackDown.
They really need to become live again. They really need that show to become live again. It's just getting bad.
Well, we can spend another podcast debating the merits of SmackDown altogether. As it really is just a clip show now, for the most part. I mean, they do have a few good matches, but it's never really any of the big guys. But I digress. We're here to talk about WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I like the subdued enthusiasm. So I guess, do you want to just kind of start off before we go into talking about the matches? This might actually be like a precursor to what we're talking about. Is what are you looking forward to most in the pay-per-view? And Tyler, you can't count the possibility of CM Punk returning.
Yeah, no spoilers or anything.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So anyone goes.
Sean, you can go first. Somebody.
What am I looking forward to the most?
Yes.
Cena vs. Wyatt. It's one of those matches where Cena and Wyatt, they do big moves, so they actually might work out pretty well together. Usually when Cena's with a better wrestler than him, it usually turns out pretty well. And the factor of Rowan and Harper, it might lead to some chaos and maybe a run-in or something along those lines, but just it's one of those matches you might overlook it, but I think it has the potential to probably be the match of the night, which sounds weird enough saying it's a John Cena match, but it has that potential, other than maybe the Shield, but because the Shield will always steal the show.
I know. Okay, go ahead, Tyler.
I was just going to say, I think my favorite would be just, obviously, Undertaker and Lesnar, which I wasn't excited for at first, really, at all. But all the promos lately are really building it up, so that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I think I might... you know what? I might actually be looking forward to this Vicky Guerrero Divas Championship Invitational.
That's this paper is going downhill right there.
And just because we were kind of talking about this before we started recording, it's going to be complete mayhem.
Yeah.
And what's more fun than mayhem?
That's true.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why we like Battle Royales, why the reason we like, the Royal Rumble to an extent, because it's just there's so many people in the ring that anything can happen. And with it being a one pinfall thing, I think that could be pretty fun.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to, and that's after you guys already said John Cena versus Bray Wyatt and Undertaker versus Lesnar. I didn't really want to say those 2 again, so I kind of went down to my 4th option of what I was most looking forward to. So
you know what? It could actually be a pretty good match, but I guess we'll get to that a little bit later.
It's going to be awesome, or it's going to be awful.
Well, the thing is, a lot of the divas, most of the divas can actually wrestle really well, but they just don't let them because they have, if they're lucky, a 10, 15-minute spot on Raw at the most.
Yeah.
But, if you watch NXT and you see those divas, they're crazy. And all the divas are capable of that. They just don't get to display it because, they're basically time fillers, unfortunately.
And you kind of brought something up there with NXT. There's not really a big influence of NXT on the card, which is kind of surprising to me because they've been pushing NXT a lot recently, especially with it being not exclusively, but live on the WWE Network now. You think they would have put something on there, and I think Emma's would be the lone representation from NXT.
Well, Rusev apparently might be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Okay.
So there's two. Maybe you see Paige. Maybe she comes up for the Divas match.
Well, they've already announced all the people in the Divas match.
Okay.
Yeah.
It also looks like stage. Yeah, it looks like what they're doing as well is I've been seeing people post from them on Twitter. Is basically they're doing a lot of NXT matches. What seems like at WrestleMania Access. Looks like they're kind of using them for the matches.
Springboarded sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, so they'll probably be on the SmackDown where they do the live cut-ins or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just thought they might throw something on the main card, even if it's like a 5-on-5 tag team match or something like that. I mean, but then again, they did fill out the card pretty reasonably the last couple of days.
Oh,
at least last week or so.
Although the card seems a little light for the runtime, so.
Well, you have to figure that you're going to give.
Probably about an hour out of the Memorial Battle.
Yeah, and you're going to have half an hour to Taker Lesnar, half an hour to Cena Bryan.
Yeah,
probably 20 minutes for maybe 20 minutes for Bryan Triple H, and maybe another half an hour for Orton Batista and the whatever triple threat match it ends up being.
So do you think the Daniel Bryan Triple H match will probably lead off the pay-per-view?
I think it'll be early. It probably won't lead it off.
You think maybe a Shield match then first?
See, I don't know. The big thing that's for the card placement is where they're going to put the Andre the Giant Battle Royale.
Well, didn't they say that's going to be on the pre-show?
Well,
I thought they changed that to the tag match.
The tag match is the pre-show match, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it just kind of, I don't know where they're going to put it, because either they put it at the very beginning to kick it off, or do they just lump it down in the middle somewhere? That just kind of seems out of place.
Yeah, I don't think in the middle will be a good card placement. Like, it would give like Triple H or Bryan enough time to kind of recover, but the timing of it, that might be a lull, and they won't do it at the end because that's going to be the championship match. So
yeah, it seems like more of a beginning.
Lesnar, yeah.
All right. So yeah, I kind of see it being the lead off, but at the same time, it seems weird to have it as a lead off.
Especially if somebody returns.
Yeah, and you're going to spend like 20 minutes getting everybody to the ring.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Okay, well I guess if we want to get started talking about the matches, we might as well start with that pre-show one. Usos, Los Matadores, Real Americans, and then Rybaxel for the tag team championships. If we want to do predictions, is there anybody who actually thinks the Usos are going to lose?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's just because they want to, like, if it wasn't for this match, only two championships would be being
on the line.
Competed for on the line. Yeah, that's the words I was looking for. I mean, it's WrestleMania. Get as many titles as you can out there. I know, like, it's hard, because especially with this battle royale, you want to give everybody their WrestleMania checks, but
plus it'd be kind of crazy to make them lose the titles already. I mean, they just recently won them, and obviously they've been pushing them weeks ahead of that, and all of a sudden they lose at WrestleMania would be a stupid move.
And the only real threat in that match is probably the Real Americans, and
which aren't really that big of a threat. Who knows what's going to go on Cesaro?
And they're fighting. So
yeah, exactly. So it's it's really hard to see that to see them losing. So
yeah, I think it's most likely that this is where Cesaro and Swagger's, like, they'll probably be the main guys that are going to give the Usos a challenge, and somehow they screw over each other, and then the Usos will come back and win.
This could be the show they break up.
I would hope so.
I mean, it's a moment for Cesaro, right? If that's what you want to do, if you want to build him, and it's all about WrestleMania moments, right? So if you break him up now, have a moment where you, like, I don't know, maybe he swings Culture with Swagger. He swings them both at the same time or something. So.
That'd be pretty amazing.
Well, yeah, you got to think. Like, I'm just thinking, like they always talk about getting your WrestleMania moment. So I was just trying to think of a picture that they'd have.
A way to send them both off.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I agree with you guys. I don't think there's any way the Usos are going to lose that match. We'll jump now to the Divas Invitational, which could be anything, really.
Yeah, that could be.
Like,
that could be chaos.
I am completely up in the air.
That's
I
one of the greatest matches on this card, like one of the greatest Divas matches that ever gone at WrestleMania, or the most terrible fail face palming thing we've ever seen.
The thing is,
I think. What was that?
No, I just think they're gonna put the title on somebody in Total Divas.
Agreed.
That's what I'm afraid of.
So I just don't think AJ is gonna win, and that takes that Tamina too, right? Because she's not on it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her.
Yeah, because I think every diva on the roster is in this match.
Yeah, I think they're just. I don't know. I think ever since Total Divas, they're really trying to push the divas subtly, not like crazy. Get out there and do whatever you can, but give them their chances every once in a while. Now, I think that's why they're doing this. They're putting all the divas in, which, if you ever, unfortunately, I do watch Total Divas.
I watched it on a plane once.
Yeah, if you ever see
them on a plane.
Whenever there's a Raw or SmackDown or whatever, they're like all backstage huddling up, hoping they're on the card. And now they're all in WrestleMania. I think they're trying to push something here. They're trying to make something out of the Divas division finally.
Well, in my opinion, it's either going to be one of, I use this term reluctantly, the Funkadactyls, or the Bella Twins. I think it's just going to be on one of those, either one of those two teams. Well, someone from those two teams, I should say.
Yeah, out of the two teams, I'd want it to be one of the Bellas, and out of the Bellas, I want it to be Brie.
Which one's Brie again?
Daniel Bryan's girlfriend in Beyonce.
I get that. Yeah, which one? Like I know which one's with which. I just don't know who's who. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. I guess it's hard to say. They're twins.
Well, which one has fake boobs? One has real boobs. Which one?
Oh yeah, that's right. Nikki has the fake ones.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna go off the board with my selection. Summer Rae.
Really?
She got wrestling talent.
Well, she did beat Natalia at Raw.
Exactly. Her and Fandango are she can go her own way now at this point. The Fandango, whatever. I don't really care about Fandango at all anymore.
Yeah.
Summer Rae can wrestle, and you can start bringing up some of the NXT people to kind of rival her. And I don't know. I just think that might be a pretty good option.
Yeah, there could be a few stories going from that, from NXT girls coming up, and I don't know what they'd go off from that, but there's definitely stories there.
Well, the thing is, you'd have to figure at least AJ would get. Oh, that's actually putting faith in the Divas division for them to follow through on anything. You'd think AJ would get a rematch, but Emma was having the feud with Summer Rae for a while before, so
that would be pretty good.
Maybe are they ready to just throw Emma in there? Because watching her matches on NXT, she's good. She just hasn't been able to do anything on the main roster because they don't, like you said before, they don't give them any time.
Yeah, buried her with Santino, which means you're nothing at that point.
Hey, Beth Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
Remember Beth Phoenix when she was was that when she was the Glamazon?
Yeah.
I think that was a little bit after, because that's when she finally started to turn into a nice girl. Like, hey, I'm not so bad.
Right, Santino made her nice. That's right, Santino. Yeah. Sorry,
I'll never forget.
You never forget what you just say.
How the whole
stopped.
the whole Beth Phoenix turned into a face there. Like she what did it start with when they finally started teaming her up with Santino? And what did she slap him on the butt or something like that? I don't know if you remember that Raw.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. You don't remember that?
It's a Divas match or semi-Divas match. I turned those off.
Yeah.
That's the fast forward on the DVR right there.
Yeah, that's just me watching House or something at that point.
So I guess we kind of went over who we think's going to win it. It's going to be a total diva show, though, is what it's going to end up being. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale or Battle Royal. That's a big one.
I have no clue what's going to happen.
I think it's safe to assume Big Show will not win.
No, they've tried. It makes too much sense for him to win. You can't call up the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle and have the Big Show win it. It just makes too much sense.
And the fact that
they won't do it.
and the fact that everybody has pretty much said Big Show. Oh, Big Show's the favorite. That never is good.
No.
For whoever that favorite is. So
unless you're like Shawn Michaels and you're the first in, and that's when you have a shot. Anytime you're out, you're not gonna win it.
And Big Show's not gonna be the first in because he can't. I mean, I like Big Show. Depending on the match, I just don't think he's the best person to lead off this battle royale, which is probably gonna have to. Which we think is going to open the show.
Yeah.
Or at least open the main pay-per-view.
The 15th person that comes out.
So, with all the names being released, and they've actually done a pretty good job building like little rivalries within the Battle Royale or Battle Royal. Is it Battle Royal or Battle Royale? Who knows?
Royale.
Tomato.
Royale, whatever.
Anyways, I just think it's going to be something like they did a good job building the rivalries within it. So there'll be lots of like little one-on-one stuff. So you'll probably see a Ziggler Del Rio moment and definitely a Sheamus Christian moment and stuff like that. So I think the thing is, it sucks because they've pretty much taken the IC Championship off the card.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be Big E's going to be in it, but you think at WrestleMania they would defend it.
You would think same thing with U.S. champion, but
well, they haven't. They even made a joke about defending the U.S. Championship.
Yeah.
A while ago, so I don't know. I just think I think they're missing an opportunity, especially if they with that huge push that Big E got right when he won the championship. It almost feels like it's stalled out.
Well, this is where I think. Well, my prediction is I think Big E's gonna win it.
Okay, you do?
I think this is where he'll finally get his push because I think whoever wins this is almost like a King of the Ring sort of situation.
Oh, okay.
Might be their new springboard instead of Money in the Bank. This might be the thing that pushes them into the next like level before they get there. But I think the one person to keep an eye out for, which this might sound random, Titus O'Neil. I think he'll have a good show.
That's true. That's very true.
Like, they've been trying to push him as a heel, and he's been doing well, but he needs that extra little. So he'll probably eliminate a fan favorite and kind of get heat from that.
I don't know. Personally, in my opinion, I don't know. I don't think this is really going to launch anybody into anything. I don't know. I feel like this is such a random toss-together match, but then again, WWE can make something out of nothing. So, like, I don't know. I feel like, okay, yeah, I have a Andre the Giant trophy. That's not going to say anything. It's not King of the Ring. It's nothing. It's like, okay, it's a Royal Rumble with Andre the Giant trophy.
Then who you got winning then?
Winning, I honestly have no clue. That's why I've been so confused with this match. I just can't make up my mind of who's going to win.
Someone. That's just copying out right there.
I think it's going to be a face. I don't think they're going to have a heel in it. So that probably cuts it down in half.
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say Big Show will win it.
Okay.
It's that obvious.
You're gonna think that they're trolling everyone by making it seem like it's so obvious, and then it's just not. He just wins it.
Well, you got to think he's been with the company for a while. They haven't really been doing much with him lately, and this could be something for him as well if they are going to springboard somebody, and they do try to springboard him every month.
But why bother springing the Big Show at this point?
Why did they bother the last time? You know?
Why did they bother last time?
Yeah, well, every other time.
Well, because they don't have anything else.
Exactly.
They have tons of young guys tons of young guys in this match. But if they want to, they can do it.
Well, actually, is Christian in this match?
He is.
You have seen his shirt, his one last match. This could be. Last match.
I don't think they're gonna have this being his one.
No,
they won't.
Match. They won't send him out on this with a win. They just won't. You're not gonna make this guy win. Whoever wins this win it the first time and then have him retire.
Actually, that's true.
See, that's why I think it's gonna be a guy like maybe Sandow, or I know I just said the no faces. No, it won't be a face, but like you know what I mean, like the guy who's on that second level right now that they tried because he had that great match with Cena on Raw when he cashed in.
Yeah, maybe Ziggler or something like that.
Maybe Ziggler, but I feel like they've been down on Ziggler a lot because of just stuff he said. So I feel like it's going to be a guy that they want to bring back up. I don't necessarily think it's going to like how you said, Sean. It's going to be like a King of the Ring type of thing. But I also don't think it's going to be as what Tyler said, where it just pretty much means nothing after the end. So that's why if you give it to a guy, say like the Miz.
Oh God.
Who always says I won the main event at WrestleMania 27 or whatever WrestleMania was. Now he says I'm the main event winner. I'm the Battle Royale winner. I've done everything. I need another shot. And then you can start building him up again because he wasn't that bad when he was up on the main scene.
No.
And he's got better.
I prefer him as an Intercontinental Champion. I just don't see him like a headliner main event instead of good.
And he's already main evented WrestleMania once, which is more than a lot of people can say.
I know.
And people have walked out of the company about that. So
that's a Schmucks fired right there.
Yeah, here we go.
So I don't know. I think if I had to pick one name, I guess I'm just going to pick Ziggler because I like him.
That's what I hope.
I think that's good.
Ziggler
I think it's to be like that type of person who wins it.
All I know is with the party I'm going to, there will probably be a lot of betting on that match.
Yeah. We're going to lose some money.
Oh.
Probably, yeah. You guys are going to lose money. And I'll just be sitting here in Saskatchewan. Not losing money.
Let's move on to the next match then.
Yeah.
The Shield versus Kane and New Age Outlaws.
Yeah.
Anyone else think this match is kind of pointless?
No.
I'm excited, actually.
Really?
I don't think it's pointless.
I think this is going to be the Shield's breaking up.
So do I.
I don't think so.
So do I.
But do you think that Ambrose and Rollins are going to screw...
Roman Reigns?
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Exactly. Something along those lines.
I think it was teased so much for entering the Royal Rumble that now that they're a cohesive unit again, that they're just going to break it up.
Yeah, it is.
Just because it's kind of gone away from what people.
Convenient.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of gone away from people thinking, okay, they're actually going to do it, and now they've been like, oh no, they're back together, they're working fine and stuff like that. And then surprised that you've turned most of them face, or at least somewhat face. They're probably tweeners or whatever you want to call it, but by having Ambrose and Rollins turn on Reigns, and you're just bam.
Yeah, and you got to think, they have the Real Americans fighting against each other at the same time. Like, they're kind of, on the verge of breaking up. So it's like, they go back and forth, so you'll lose focus on these people and the focus on these people. And it seems like you said, they haven't really been focusing on the Shield breaking up in about a week or two, maybe.
Well, probably since right after Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, and
after Ambrose disappeared for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and the Real Americans are still going at it. So
yeah.
But I think this will be when the Shield breaks up. I don't know exactly how. Maybe Roman Reigns leaves for those two to fight against, Kane.
No, that can't happen.
If Roman Reigns leaves, then that implies that he's going to be a heel.
Yeah,
that's true.
You have to have them turn on Reigns. That's the only way this works. Is if they go for a tag and they just jump down and just leave them to get the crook. Yeah.
Like New Age Outlaws and CM Punk during that one match.
That's exactly what has to happen.
Yeah.
That would. Yep.
Or they just beat him down in the center of the ring.
That's true.
Or they all just join together at the end and just beat him down. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly how the Shield turned on Kane. They just all turn around and everybody goes at him.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be something like that. I think it's gonna be. I think it because they were talking about it for so long and they want to push Reigns. I mean, we saw it at Survivor Series how he speared 4 people. Yeah. We saw it at Royal Rumble how he broke the elimination record. So why not at Mania have them turn on him and then he can double spear them or something?
I personally think that this isn't going to be the week that happens. It will happen, but I think they lose this match because that's something that happens. They don't turn on each other then, but it slow builds up to the next pay-per-view, and that's when they break.
I wouldn't be surprised with that, but I'm personally think it's going to happen at Mania.
It's going to happen eventually, probably within the next month.
Well, yeah, it's obviously going to happen eventually, but I think they did too much of a slow build already. Yeah. That then it kind of cooled off so much because it was so slow that it just kind of be like a
it's basically time for it to start up again. And the next show is WrestleMania.
Yeah, and then huge. You could have them beat down and Reigns just explode and start killing people. Well, not killing people, but beating people up.
Maybe kill him. I don't know.
I don't know. Well,
I could see them doing the jump down and they leave him. Roman Reigns kind of holds his own for a few minutes, seconds, whatever. Kind of like a John Cena type thing where he holds off half the people in the ring and then eventually he gets beat down.
Yeah. I could see something very similar to that happening.
So what about Cena versus Wyatt then? As you bring John Cena up.
Okay, first let's get this out of the way first. That moment on Raw on Monday, where he's behind them, where Cena's behind them in the sheep mask, in the goat mask or whatever, and he's just standing there, and everyone's like, "Who the hell's that? Who is that? Come on!"
I know
they want to suspend disbelief, and it's a show, it's entertainment. I get it, but when it's something that obvious, go in on the joke with them. Be like, oh, look at Cena. And you can have them being confused because, whatever. Cause
he actually did fit in perfectly too. Like when I
did.
saw that, as soon as he took the mask off and I saw him, he just looked so angry. I felt it. I was like,
yeah.
oh god.
It's been a very good feud so far. I mean, it's been somewhat real in the him calling out his big mansion and his plastic girlfriend.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was fantastic.
Yeah. So I think, and the thing is, you guys kind of said it in your what you think is, Cena has to have a great person, have a good match with somebody. I mean, I know but Cena has put on a lot of good matches over the course of his career.
Yeah, it's usually when he's up against somebody who, has better ring ability, which Bray Wyatt, he's not the best wrestler ever, but he is very good.
Yes.
And, we've seen John Cena pull off crazy moves you wouldn't expect in the first place. The 5 moves of doom. We've seen him do a Hurricane Run out of nowhere, which was pretty awesome to see. Even if it was a little sloppy, we're still like, wow, look at him, he can wrestle.
I mean, like, at least he's trying.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see a guy like, I don't know, Batista, who lumbers around the ring, at least Cena's somewhat athletic and can at least attempt these
He
different
can jump.
moves.
He can really jump up there for the Hurricane Run.
Us.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be stupid to have Cena win this match.
I hope Bray Wyatt wins. If you think about it, it's a really good match, especially for Cena. You got, unfortunately the best good guy in the company, or at least, what they're pushing as the best good guy. And then you got Bray Wyatt, which right now is pretty much the best bad guy in the company.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you have to make Wyatt, after everything that happens, even if it's by DQ or something, Wyatt has to win this. You cannot have John Cena win this.
It's a huge push for him if he wins, too.
Yeah.
I know, and that's what makes it. When it first was rumored that they would do this, it seemed strange because it just seemed like, okay, well, Cena's got to win at WrestleMania 30. He's their guy.
Finally going to push someone over.
Well, he already did it at SummerSlam.
Well,
he did it at SummerSlam for Bryan.
True, but I mean,
he did it for Punk in what was it, Money in the Bank in Chicago?
Yeah,
I guess so.
I mean, he's done it before, but I don't think.
But those guys were on the precipice. Bray Wyatt is just a little bit under that. Like he's there, but he's not he's ready to push, but he's not hasn't been rivaling with anyone else. It's he hasn't been up there for Orton. He hasn't been Batista. He hasn't been up there in that the World Championship match. Cena's a big draw, but he's not in the championship draw yet. Last couple of months. So by doing this, you're pushing Wyatt up to that kind of level where he's ready to go after the Ortons, the Bryans.
Well, he already went after Bryan.
Something for a championship, Triple H,
but
Batista.
If we're talking characters right now with Bray Wyatt, how would you have his character want a title?
Whoever, I don't know, the only thing I could think of for that would be whoever has the titles, maybe, I don't know, it could be him attacking them like he usually does, or, it could be him and the rest of the Wyatt family, beat down every champion, kind of thing, hey, I won a championship, that kind of thing. I don't know it's really hard to say what they do from that.
Or
what's the possibility is if you have Bryan win this match, is you have Roman and Harper at the end of the Orton Batista Bryan match. Bryan wins it. Maybe have Wyatt they send him down there as kind of revenge for that Raw.
We could talk
a little too far ahead, but
yeah, but if just saying that if Bryan wins the triple threat, then there's not gonna be another run-in or anything like that.
No,
it's gonna have a nice shot of him on the top rope doing the yes chant in front of 70,000 people.
Yeah, but I think we're getting a little hot each other because we still have more matches to talk about there.
No, we definitely are, but so that's the thing. I get pushing Bryan, I get pushing Bray, I get it. But where are you pushing him to? Because his character, honestly, to me, doesn't feel like it's going to be someone who's going to be chasing a championship.
Yeah, he seems more like a, beat up everybody we can kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm just going to I'm just going to destroy everything just for the sake of destroying things.
Yeah,
so
I could see this going tons of different ways. So
yeah, it's really hard to say.
Just to me, I don't see him, but not saying that I don't want to see him win. I think he's going to win, as to keep pushing him as that monster. But I mean, can you see how if a certain wrestler was still around, how they were trying to recreate the Attitude Era. How maybe you can draw some parallels between Bray Wyatt and early Mick Foley. Early
That's
Mankind.
a pretty good.
You can see you could, if you want to do Samoan connection with The Rock and Roman Reigns, how they started in a group.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He came out on his own.
Yeah.
If you that unnamed wrestler who was the anti-authority figure with an Austin vibe.
CM, yeah.
And
Maybe
then
he ever comes back.
And then maybe like a Brian would be like a
Shawn Michaels.
I was thinking more of a Chris Jericho style.
Maybe like a mixture of both.
Yeah, I can see him as a mix of a lot of wrestlers.
Yeah. But I just kind of see like some parallels that they're trying to draw between people, and at least I don't know if it's intentional or maybe it's just like it's too far into it because I'm reminiscing about the old days, but
yeah, they could just be slipping some things in there, accidentally, like yeah, they've done it before, they accidentally slip it in again, kind of thing.
Yeah. So let's get on to. So do we all think Bray's gonna win?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let's jump to Undertaker and Brock Lesnar, which when it was first announced, I was not looking forward to. Like you said before, Tyler.
Sorry, what match was that?
This was Undertaker Lesnar.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for paying attention.
No, sorry. When I first heard it, I don't know. It's like if you go back to two Triple H and Undertaker matches, 2 years in a row. Same thing with Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. It was kind of like, I don't know. The first time I was excited for, the first Shawn Michaels and the first Triple H versus Undertaker matches. The second ones I'm kind of like, oh, they don't really know what to do kind of thing. And that's kind of what I felt like when I first heard this match, because Lesnar, shows up, maybe every pay-per-view, every other pay-per-view. I just kind of felt like it wasn't really going to go anywhere. But Paul Heyman is such a great promoter, he can turn anything into something amazing.
Well, you saw what he did in Chicago. Where he pretty much silenced the entire Chicago crowd.
Yeah, and
who were rabid for Punk. They just kind of, after he did his little thing, he, they shut up and listened to him talk because he's Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, if we're gonna talk about it, I mean, the bill was just kind of like there.
Well, the thing is, this has been like a while happening. It may have been outside the wrestling ring, but back during one of Brock's UFC fights, Undertaker was there, and he was ringside, and right after the match, they actually kind of got into each other's faces.
That's true. I remember seeing that.
So it's been a long time kind of simmering. They haven't done the kind of, I'm guessing they haven't done anything with the UFC to kind of like maybe get footage of that or kind of build that up. But that heat's been there for a while because Lesnar wanted to fight him then. Undertaker called him back, like, come back to WWE and let's like fight this out sort of thing. And that was like, I think that was just before Lesnar's championship match. So it's been a while, like at least 2 years. Just they haven't really brought that up at all.
If WWE was smart, what they could do, or if they got the rights and everything for the video. If they could toss the Undertaker and Lesnar at UFC, their little face-off they had in the crowd or whatever, if they can throw that into that video package, I think that'd really top it off. Like, oh yeah, this is supposed to happen. Yeah.
The only downside with that is, wasn't Undertaker like quote unquote out of character at that point?
Well, he wasn't technically Undertaker, so maybe that's why they haven't.
That's why I think if he was still American Badass Undertaker, I think they would probably try to use it.
Yeah, he was pretty civilian there.
Yeah, and he's one of the guys that doesn't like to break. He likes to stay as the dark, brooding, I'm going to eat your soul Undertaker.
Which is interesting, because if you saw on Raw, I kind of felt like he broke character for a second there. It kind of made me like giggle. Like, I don't know if you remember when he was like, there's like 3 things you can't beat, and he's like, that's something, and then he said like taxes, and then
Oh yeah, death, taxes, and the street.
Yeah. And I was like, huh. He mentioned something other than killing somebody.
Well, he brought death in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean that's the thing. There's only 2 certain things in life: death and taxes, right? So I don't know. I know where you're going with that. They they had that footage. I think that's the reason why they're not going to use anything like that.
Yeah.
So, is it like, do we? Because they built it up where it's. I know it's the streak, but I don't think they've even made Lesnar that credible a threat to break it.
No. Like, CM Punk was a much bigger threat than Lesnar is.
Well, even with CM Punk, at least they kind of had it. It was somewhat personal because he did all the stuff at the urn.
Yeah,
after Bearer died. But really, the only thing that Lesnar has
it's been just Heyman insulting him. Other than that, what else do you have?
It was all like, what can Lesnar do right now?
Well, they had a little face-off on Raw. I mean, which wasn't anything crazy, but it was kind of like the last minute, like, okay, they made contact.
Yeah. And I appreciate them trying to sell it, but as JBL was saying, if Lesnar hits that F5, he's going to be done. He'll be down for the count.
No.
Where we've seen in like the past 5 WrestleManias, where Undertaker kicked out of like three speech and musics, 3 pedigrees. I don't know.
Sleep.
The tombstone. He kicked because Triple H did a tombstone on him. He kicked out of go to sleep. He kicked out of everything. So it's just hard to imagine. Like, I get it that they want to. They're trying to fix whatever they can to make Lesnar a monster, but
it's too late.
History shows that it's going to take more than that one F5 to keep him down.
I think it'll be a good match. I mean, pretty much any match with The Undertaker is good, but if you think back, Lesnar hasn't really done anything. I mean, he's not obviously on any main stories on Raw like pretty much everybody is, well, except for The Undertaker. He just kind of comes back. He'll have a story where, oh yeah, I'm going to beat you up at this pay-per-view. And then he leaves for a little bit. Next pay-per-view, okay, I'm going to beat up this person. Yeah, I'm better than you. And they're just going to go back and forth. And that's what's happening here. I definitely don't think he's going to win.
Eat, sleep, conquer, repeat. That's all he does.
Although the shirt is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. I want it, but...
his eat, sleep, break the streak shirt?
Yeah, with the back, I'm a Paul Heyman beast.
Yeah, that was good. I did like that. I don't see Undertaker losing. I think it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be I just don't see how they could have him lose to Lesnar.
No, it doesn't seem right at all. Especially, like I said, how he just comes back and fights somebody for a pay-per-view, wins, loses, disappears, and then comes back. It's just one of those times where he's pretty much probably going to lose because he's not going to be on, main on Raw to, be there every week or even every other week to keep something going. Yeah, exactly.
If he wins, what's he going to do? He's not going to be back every week to brag about how he beat the streak.
Yeah, he's just going to move on to the next pay-per-view and do the same thing, win or lose, and it's going to keep continuing. And if you're going to beat The Undertaker's streak, you pretty much have to be there because something good is going to come out of that.
Yeah.
Not even good. Something amazing has to come out of that.
And it's not going to be somebody that Taker. It's not going to be somebody that the creative chooses to lose to. It's going to be someone that Taker chooses to lose to.
Well, you've heard I don't know if this is kind of like an offshoot, but rumors of Sting.
Next year, yeah.
Which still wouldn't make sense.
I don't know if he'd win, but everybody is saying,
Well, Sting's
Undertaker
in New Orleans this week for, WrestleFest or something like that. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Lesnar's going to win. I think it's going to go on, and perhaps Sting. That's the next person in my opinion who I'd see.
Sting come out surprise at the end, to challenge him in a year. I'll meet you next WrestleMania sort of thing.
Like The Rock and Cena, once in a lifetime.
That once in a lifetime.
I don't think they'd bring it. I don't think they'd bring Sting out on WrestleMania. I think they'd bring him out on Raw.
Yeah, that'd get a lot more viewers.
I mean, because you already have your eyeballs on, but it's like Sting makes his debut. It's got to be somewhere. It's got to be in New Orleans or something again.
Yeah, it's gonna be somewhere close.
Okay.
So let's go to the big whole championship situation that's been kind of brewing for 8 months now. It seems like, with Daniel Bryan versus Triple H, and the winner of that match gets into the triple threat for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship with Orton and Batista. So, I guess first, is this triple threat just kind of like, oh God, we screwed up?
Yes.
Or do you think this was the plan all along?
No. This is, nobody gives a shit about Batista coming back. Orton's boring and hasn't been involved in a storyline that's semi-decent in months.
Well,
so we need to throw something in here to make it worth people actually tuning into.
Especially, I think one of the main thing is because of Punk leaving.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the main things. Yeah, so now everybody's like, okay, we got to do something big. That's something that everybody wants, and everybody started booing Batista. Boo-tista, and
which was amazing.
Yeah, which is awesome.
That was fantastic.
But now they're like, oh god, we screwed up. We need to turn this around, and I have a feeling Daniel Bryan's going to be in that match one way or another.
Interesting you say one way or another. Do you see if Triple H loses, he'd be like, screw this, it's a fatal 4-way match?
Exactly. No. Or Triple H wins in a dirty type of way, which is something I've heard from a few people. And, maybe, I don't know how, but some dirty way.
Apparently supposed to be there.
I've heard that. And I don't know what could happen, but, Triple H wins in a dirty way, and somebody comes out, Vince, Hulk Hogan, the host of WrestleMania, and says, hey,
I think this would be good for Shane McMahon to come back and just kind of, throw it down, this is not happening,
and
then, but I'm still McMahon sort of thing, this is
and then now it's a fatal 4-way, and then I think Bryan's
that happens, that'd be crazy.
Bryan's gonna win, beats 3/4 of Evolution.
Yeah. Just bring Flair back.
Ric Flair and all drunk shows up.
Woo!
And he loses.
So let's start with the Daniel Bryan Triple H match.
No way Bryan loses that.
Yeah?
I don't. Dirty or something. It'd be cool if that happens with Shane McMahon. He comes out or something, big, or Vince comes out or someone comes out and just says,
all the McMahon.
That's not happening. Yeah, it's this isn't happening. I'm still in charge of this. Screw this noise. This is what's going down. But I just don't think Bryan loses this match.
And there was that rumor a long time as in a few months ago, the whole power struggle, maybe Vince coming back and, hey, it's still my show, like you said, Sean, and that kind of thing. And maybe, Vince comes out, maybe multiple McMahons, Vince, Shane, Stephanie, and, oh, come on, Triple H, you can't do this, that kind of thing.
It wouldn't be Stephanie. Stephanie's been screwed.
Yeah, Stephanie. That's true.
Maybe
she might come out to defend Triple H.
Maybe.
And gets him disqualified or something like that. That would be that wouldn't happen. That'd be a family splitter there.
Now, I know you said that Sean, you think Bryan's gonna win, which I think he will too.
Or even if he doesn't win, he'll be in the triple threat or 4-way match in the end. There's no way that he is not put into that match.
Is there any scenario you see Triple H walking out of WrestleMania as the champion?
No. Not personally.
I would hope not, because that'd be a conflict of interest and a half. Having your entire company, not your entire company, but one of your high-ranking officers in your company running and being the champion of your company.
Well, remember, Vince wrote himself as the WWE champion.
True, but that was a very short time. You can't put Triple H there and not expect him to want to hold that, take his ball and hold that thing. He'll want to be champion for a while.
Well, at the same time, how I want Bryan to win, I'm also thinking, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, Sean, but if Bryan wins, what are they going to do with him? Everybody wants him to get the title, and once he gets his title, what's going to happen from there?
That's what I was saying about the Wyatts. If Bray Wyatt wins, why not have him be attacked during his
Actually,
you have the Wyatts. It just goes black. You have their music kick in. You see Bray Wyatt in the ring in his rocking chair. Then you see Rowan and Harper Shrine in the ring. No one else is there but him, and then just boom, you just start this instant rivalry.
I can see that happen on Raw the next night.
I can see it on Raw. I wouldn't see that on WrestleMania because they've done it so many times, right? They've done so many times where Bryan wins, and then something happens. He either loses it or what have you. But I think Raw, maybe if he wins,
it will happen.
Something's going to happen there. Yeah.
It has to be Wyatt that goes after him.
Why does it have to be Wyatt?
Who else would you throw it at him?
You have to throw Orton back in there.
Why?
I don't think they do that. He's been in there for too long now.
But he has. But as everyone knows, you have the rematch.
Well, rematch. That is true.
Which is always a staple of WWE storytelling.
No, I know that, but I don't see him using that immediately right after. Maybe SummerSlam sort of thing. Give him time.
You don't?
No.
I see him definitely using it right.
Maybe
after.
him and Triple H kind of rival. Maybe they screw each other out of it, or
they've been screwing each other over. They've been screwing each other over a lot.
So
they probably want to scale down the amount Triple H is wrestling, like physically wrestling.
Maybe at SummerSlam, Daniel Bryan versus Orton versus Bray Wyatt. Like, oh, Orton, yeah, you get your rematch, but here we go, we're going to screw you over.
Maybe.
And then what do you do for Bryan for 4 months?
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking about. Why would he win the title if they're, not going to have anything to really do with it? Like CM Punk, back when he won the World Heavyweight title all those times. They had nothing to do with it, so he lost it to this person for no reason, lost it to that person. It could be like that. They're just not going to give it to him yet, and that's probably why they haven't given it to him yet. If anything, one, to build it up so when he finally does win, and probably two, because they don't exactly know what to do after that.
Well, there's also a rumor that Paul Heyman is hiring a new Paul Heyman guy. So
I saw that.
Who knows where that goes? Maybe
that could go,
it's CM Punk again. Maybe
that's what I'm thinking.
They've been saying it's maybe one of the NXT guys coming up.
That would be cool.
I've heard Sami Zayn, so.
Think about how cool it would be, though, if it was Daniel Bryan. I mean, it would be cool in a way, but then again, if they did, it'd probably be because CM Punk's not coming back and they need a new Punk-type guy, which in the company right now, I guess he would be the closest because he's all against the authority and stuff like that. Not as rebellious, but, he'll just...
They're interesting points, but does Batista win?
No.
No.
But the thing is, he's sticking around after this for another couple months. So
he's here until the summer when he starts to promote Guardians of the Galaxy.
So it's possible.
So if you put it on him, you can have.
But that's gonna be so much heat.
If you do that, they could just be trying to make a really good bad guy, and then him versus Daniel Bryan, and that could cap off Batista.
Exactly. Have that happen at SummerSlam. Batista Bryan.
But do you want to see Batista win? That's the question.
Do I want to see Batista win? No.
I don't think anybody does, and that's why they'd want him to win.
Perfect deal right there. Built in right away.
People would lose it immediately.
The Twitters would explode.
Yeah. No, they definitely explode, and then that's exactly what you want. You want them talking about it.
But I think Batista wins, and maybe that's when if CM Punk is rumored to come back, or someone is rumored to be the Heyman guy, have him go after Batista. Because you can't have Orton against Batista again. Nobody wanted that to begin with.
You can't.
You can't have Bryan immediately go back. Cause someone's going to screw him if he loses.
Exactly. Which is why, and that's why you said Paul Heyman guy. If Batista wins, this new Paul Heyman guy might go after Bryan, or maybe the Wyatt screw Bryan over or something. But then again, then you just rehash the whole Bryan Wyatt storyline again, which you probably don't want to do.
Not yet, at least.
So we're getting close to we're at a long time right now. Let's just wrap it up. Final prediction for that match, those two matches. I'm going with a double Bryan just because it's kind of all been building to this moment. And I think that's what they're going to have is him on the ropes doing the yes chant as WrestleMania goes off the air, just because that's going to be the thing that's just it's his moment, yeah. And they want signature moments at Mania, so I think that's what they're going to do.
I agree.
Yep, same here.
Then I think at Raw something's going to happen. Is just going to start the new rivalry.
Yeah,
it's going to last until SummerSlam.
Now, Tyler, you've been tweeting about this, or at least retweeting stuff about Punk returning, or Punk being in New Orleans because he just apparently got engaged to AJ Lee, so congratulations to them, I guess. Well, I say I guess.
If it's true, that is, though.
Yeah,
if
it's true. Did you read that yesterday morning?
No, I read it this morning.
Okay. Good. Because, you know.
I read the initial, because apparently she had an engagement ring on at Raw. That's what started it. And then the next day, that's when the pictures started being uploaded, and that's when the rumor going on, they could be engaged. And then later that night, I saw the article. Okay, I don't know if they confirmed it or what, but I believe what it said was, they're engaged, but no date set type of thing.
And you also retweeted, Tyler, the article about Austin saying Punk will be back. He thinks Punk will be at WrestleMania.
Yes.
Do you guys think he will be there? Because I don't. I think if he left because he wasn't going to be in the main event, he wouldn't come in just for a running spot.
Well, a counter on that would be
no bigger spot for him to come back in.
And apparently a closer friend to Punk, not a wrestler or anything, but he was in an interview saying that he didn't actually leave because of he was frustrated. Like he didn't feel like he could give like 100% type of thing.
Oh, so it actually was a sabbatical.
Because he had the concussion issue. If you remember at the WrestleMania, he was lying in the corner for a long time.
The Royal Rumble, you mean?
Sorry, Royal, thank you.
That'd be interesting.
Which would make sense to do just like a giant shoot issue, because that would, and then you have him like maybe he comes back and screws Brian. You have that Brian until.
Maybe
he was best as a heel.
He screws Triple H.
It does happen,
and that puts Brian in there.
Well, one of the last things we saw from Punk was him beating up Triple H.
Exactly.
So
So that's why, like, I think if he came back, I know he is so good as a heel, but him coming back to attack Brian doesn't really make much sense to me in terms of storyline, other than him just being jealous.
Yeah.
Classic storyline there, but that's just jealousy.
Well, what Stone Cold was saying, like, the only reason he said he thinks he's going to return is because, he's had his time to, set aside, heal up, do whatever he needs to do. And he said it's about time for him to come back. That's why he's thinking he's going to come back. That's why I think CM Punk's going to come back. I don't know if he said there's really any storyline with it. I don't think he even said anything about that. It's more like a personal, he's had enough time to, do his thing and heal, but, what is he going to do when he gets back? I think he said he believes CM Punk's just going to, show up, do something, establish himself, like, hey, I'm back, and then something's going to roll from there. Not necessarily at WrestleMania, but he can make an appearance anytime.
I appreciate what you're saying and everything like that, but I know this is completely not has anything to do with anything. On the Talking Dead, he went by his real name.
That is true. And you saw the little nods he was giving whenever they're like, oh yeah, follow him on Twitter at CM Punk. He kind of looked at the camera and like nodded kind of thing, like a little wink, like, ha ha ha, I don't tweet anymore. Because, WWE's not making me tweet. And if you saw his first tweet, well, that's Twitter stupid or something like that. So
yeah. So I don't know. I don't think he's back. That's just me. I think he's going there because he just got engaged and he's spending some time with his fiancé.
Yeah, that would be my thing. I hope, I really hope he'll be there. But yeah, if he doesn't show up, I'm not going to be disappointed.
I don't know. You seem like you'd be pretty brokenhearted about it.
No, I'd be crazy happy if he showed up, but if he doesn't, it's kind of like, I'm not really over, getting excited for it because I thought he was going to come back multiple times and he hasn't. Especially after the Raw in Chicago when Heyman came out. After that, I was kind of like, yeah, okay, it's done.
Yeah, I think that was the moment for him to come back, that moment there. So that wraps up our WrestleMania preview, I guess. We kind of went with what I guess everyone thinks is going to happen, the common thing. So we're probably all going to be wrong about everything, which will be exciting. So, yeah, thank you for listening. Sean is at Sean_McD2 on Twitter. I believe you are, Tyler, at Heel Rushing.
Yes.
Am I right? Yes. Taking a page from Ziggler's book there. And I am at SmithBR10. We are at Sport by Schmucks. If you like Tyler, let us know in the comment section. Maybe we can do some more wrestling-centered podcasts especially around the pay-per-view times. And maybe, hopefully, WWE will get their act together and put the network in Canada. That'd be great. Thanks. As soon as possible. Thanks. So yeah, thank you for listening and enjoy WrestleMania.